everyone. Welcome to Joy in the Mundane. I am Lauren Sieber.
And I am Aya Nichols, and we are your hosts. And we're really excited for this week's topic because, we've been having a lot of hard topics lately.
A lot of heavy topics.
Yeah, we did trauma, we did addiction, we did all these things, and now I think we just want to do self-care.
Yeah, something fun. And something, important.
Yeah.
But also something fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk about what self-care was and show you what it could be. And, it's weird because it feels, at least that's how I felt when I first learned about self-care. It feels like it's a selfish, indulgent type thing. And the more I've implemented it into my life, the more I realize that it actually gives me more life and then allows me to give others more life.
Right. It's not really a selfish thing. It's more of a taking care of yourself. It's kind of like filling your cup back up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I think about it.
It's self-care. The word is a perfect thing.
Yeah.
And self-care can look a million different ways.
Oh, yeah.
And we looked it up and we decided we would try some of these things on the show and, see if they actually work. And if we feel filled up or if we feel like that luxurious feeling, because sometimes we just need to feel like princesses. At least I do.
Oh yeah, I think we all do. I think, we can always use a little bit of pampering.
Yeah.
Especially after a long, hard day, or a long, hard week.
Yeah.
Of work or life, taking care of kids or whatever.
We're both mothers.
Yeah.
So we definitely understand that.
Yeah. And then some of the things we've been talking about lately with the trauma and the mental health issues and things like that. This type of self-care and these types of practices that you can implement into your life is something that you can kind of do to make sure that you're kind of maintaining that positive energy, and taking care of that side of yourself to kind of maintain a positive attitude, because if you don't maintain that positive attitude, it's not going to be pretty, honestly, right?
No. I think that's when bitterness starts, especially since we all need to take care of that part of ourselves. We all have our soul that needs to feel special and needs to feel taken care of. And sometimes it's hard to take care of it because we don't have the time or we don't have the money. We're both mothers. We're both poor. So it's not like we have all the dollars to be able to go get our nails done and get our eyebrows done and get $300 worth of hair, Botox. Listen, I'm 30 now. I may need the Botox. Hint. But there are things that we can do now that on a weekly basis that would give us that feeling, even if it was just the smallest amount. And sometimes it really just takes a small amount to make us filled up again.
Yeah, help us have that renewed energy of being, feeling like we're able to kind of face the day, face the week, whatever challenges that it may bring. Troublesome child or situation at work, or anything that comes up from the past.
Relationships.
Yes. Anything. It's all about, how you take care of yourself, whether that's doing these self-pampering type of things that we're going to talk about, or digging into the Word, and seeking time with the Lord. That is the ultimate self-care, that I think we can both agree is
100%
the best way to kind of take care of yourself and take care of your soul, because that's really the only thing that's going to fully fill your cup is seeking the Lord. So
yeah. And speaking just a little bit on that, there are so many times during the week where I'm I don't feel like reading my Bible. The last thing I want to do is read, because I read for my job. So I keep thinking to myself, this will not fill me up. This won't do the thing that I need it to do.
Or in my case, I just want to sleep for 20 more minutes.
If I can sleep for about 24 hours, I would really feel better.
Yeah.
And yet, when I just be faithful to open the scripture and just start reading the first couple words, I start feeling filled up.
It never fails.
It has never
fails.
failed.
No.
And I have yet to seen it fail. So from personal experience, and this isn't just like advertising something, PS, none of this is advertised. This is just something that we came up together within the last like hour that we can do as self-care, because sometimes we don't have the time to plan. It just that intentionality of pampering yourself. So that would mean like, putting homemade pizza on a nice plate, or putting Halloween candy that we got last October in a nice glass. Poor Mia, she doesn't know that we're buying her Halloween candy.
She won't miss it.
Literally, she won't.
Some popcorn, some homemade popcorn, or some face masks.
Yes, yes, and they're like $1 each. And this is the best part, is doing it with a friend.
Yeah.
Like having something like this, and we're doing this in the middle of the week. Like we're not doing this on a Saturday or a Friday. So, and it's we have jobs. It's on a Tuesday.
Like we are both like exhausted from
so
work.
Tired.
Like we're both like, I think like on the before we got together tonight, we were both probably like, I'm so ready for bed. Like I know
I took a nap. I took a nap before this. But now that we're doing it, I feel excited, like a part of me is being filled up. And so like grabbing a friend and being like, let's pamper ourselves with the things that we have. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. And we have different options. So we have reading the word and journaling. So one self-care thing that we can do is journal. And I do this actually on a regular basis because I have a lot of feelings and a lot of thoughts that no one else actually needs to hear other than the Lord. So I write them to Him, and I let them out of my body, and then I let them go. So if there are like these uncontrollable thoughts or feelings that are too overwhelming and you don't feel like sharing them, I suggest journaling, just because that way you're not telling it to anyone else, but you're still letting it out of your body. And that's what matters the most when it comes to emotions, is feeling them and then letting them go. And having a place to put them is a really good thing.
Yeah, that relief.
Yes.
And that writing it out. I mean, whether it be good emotions or bad emotions.
It doesn't even have to matter.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm not as good about it now, but like a few years ago, like I would journal like constantly throughout the day, and now it might be like once or twice a week.
Yeah.
But like I still love to journal, and like sometimes it's a full blown out like prayer to the Lord, like, hey God, like, this is what's going on in my life, as if you don't already know.
Exactly.
But and then sometimes it's just like, oh my gosh, today has absolutely been awful, and just been crazy. And I think however that looks like for you is up to you, because there is no cookie cutter way to do it. It's literally just that physical activity of pen to paper, that kind of just has that chemical release of the emotion, just letting it be known to God, of what's going on in your life, so much more than just speaking it in your heart or speaking it out loud, is when it's pen to paper. And and
it just becomes more real.
Yeah, and it's not for everybody, and if you don't,
some people hate writing, that's okay.
If you don't journal, pen to paper, like that's okay.
We have other things.
Yeah, but that's something that works for us, in terms of self-care and in terms of like communicating with the Lord.
Yeah.
And I don't know about for you, but like in terms of like writing out prayers, like do you write out like prayers?
Yes.
You do? Like
that's what I do.
Prayers? That's
what I do when I journal. Is that like, I guess it is me praying to the Lord, because I say, dear God, and I start the prayer, and the prayer includes everything I feel about Him, everything I feel about my life, everything I feel about what's happening. And at the very end, like it always ends with me feeling supported and thanking Him for helping me and just even listening to my pouring out.
Yeah.
And you know, like when people think of prayer, I don't know, this time in our life, like in society, I'm not even entirely sure I know what people think anymore about what prayer is and everything.
Yeah, like just the cookie cutter definition of it. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like when you pray for your meal, like having,
what's it supposed to look like?
What is it supposed to look like?
Right.
What are you supposed to say? What are you supposed to do? And does it count if you don't do this and that?
Right. Right. Yeah.
Right?
Does it even outline that in
Does
the
it
Bible?
exactly?
Like, no.
Exactly. So me just, and I think me doing that, and I'm not perfect on it. I don't do it every day. I would love to do it every day because it genuinely does make me feel better. But you know, we get busy, and then I have a 2-year-old, 3-year-old almost, and she has a 3-year-old. So like they get in the way, and I know that God has the grace for that.
Yeah.
So whenever I write out my journal, write out my prayers, I know that within that, God is giving me the grace and patience I need in order to be able to write it, as well as like live it out and then keep moving forward. And you know, I've now looked back on my prayers, even just like within the last year, and seeing how God has answered every single one of them.
You're gonna make me cry.
Every single one, to the point, and it's not like I'm deserving. I haven't been the most faithful person on the planet. I promise you this. So it's not like, oh, I have been the most deserving, therefore he has answered my prayers. No, I have been the least deserving, and yet he answered the prayer.
Well, it's like that verse in like Romans, like I do what I do not want to do, but like he makes
yes,
he makes
Paul. Yes,
yeah.
It's like I
Find
find it because it really does speak to like the human experience. It's like I don't do what I want to do, but I do what I don't want to do.
Right. Or I have the desire to do what is right, but not the ability to carry it out. For I do not do the good I want, but the evil I do not want is what I keep on doing.
I do not do the good I want, but the evil that I keep on doing. So it's like he has the desire to do good. And he knows in his head what is right because he knows the Lord. And yet his flesh is so against him that even within knowing that, whenever the action is being implemented, it falls apart. Having that conflict and God knowing that we have that and giving us the grace for it, I think really helps us push through and be able to be authentic in sharing our feelings to him and feeling heard, and then feeling like he's actually answered our prayers. And that sounds like us, where we have the full intention of honoring the Lord, and yet we can't seem to will our bodies. And having patience, the fact that God has patience with us.
Yeah.
So we should have patience with ourselves. And, you know, reminding ourselves that it's the little things that genuinely matter to our souls. So we're going to sit here and do some self-care things and see how much they work. And we have all the different kinds. So we have doing your nails and makeup and even creating your own perfumes. And we have pizza.
And we have face stuff, facial masks and popcorn and candy.
And we're going to sit here and do some art stuff because they always include art stuff in those pamphlets. So we're going to sit here and be little artistes.
I mean, they say it's good for you. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to get stressed, but
I did do an episode about how art affects your soul and the expression of it, and even the smallest expression can mean so much. So when I say the smallest expression, I genuinely mean it. So I don't know what it is that we're going to be able to fit on this, but we will do it. So let's see.